Hey yo, I'm back with another video, and today I want to talk about finally Tony Ferguson getting a win in 2025. As we all know, Tony El Kukui, the boogeyman, has been on a really bad losing streak ever since that fight that he had against Justin Gaethje. In that fight, Justin Gaethje beat the hell out of Tony Ferguson. He made Tony Ferguson a punching bag. Tony probably landed one good shot on the Justin, one good shot on Gaethje, but eventually he lost that fight. But ever since that fight, Tony has been on an 8-fight losing streak. He has lost to Bobby King Green, Daniel Darius, Carlos Oliveira, who else? Paddy Pimblett, Michael Chiesa, Nate Diaz. He has lost to some good fighters, as in some great fighters like uh, Justin Gaethje, Darius, and great fighter like Carlos Oliveira. But the rest, like losing to Michael Chiesa and Nate Diaz in 2024, 2025, it's not exactly a great way to end your career in UFC. But now he's back on the weight column, even though it's in the Misfits boxing, which is not exactly MMA. It's not even really boxing, but he defeated Salt Papi, who is a YouTuber, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter for all us Tony fans. Anyone who's a fan of mixed martial arts or anyone who's a fan of Tony Ferguson, it does not matter. He won that fight. I know the fight might would have been a might would have been an early stoppage, but it doesn't matter. He was going to defeat Salt Papi. That dude did not really have the answer for Tony's pressure, and Tony actually looked good. Like, look at Tony; he actually looks good. Like, look at his physique; like, he looks good. Maybe the fact that he does not have to wrestle and grapple anymore, if he keeps doing this boxing thing, maybe it's putting less pressure on his body, and also he was probably fighting at like 170 or something. Like, he was probably fighting at more than 155. I believe he cannot really cut weight anymore. So I can guess the reason probably he's looking good, but he's definitely physically looking really good. And I'm happy for Tony Ferguson. I'm genuinely happy. But yeah, I mean, he should still consider retirement. I do not really want to see him take more punishment. We already know that he has had some mental health attacks. I don't know how to say it. Like, he has had some schizophrenic attacks in the past where his wife had to call in 911 to get him help. We have seen that, and that is a big part of the CDE damage and everything. The brain damage from CDE, the brain damage for all this striking that someone has taken over the years. I mean, that happens in boxing and MMA and all kind of combat sports. Also in boxing, and but I mean, Tony has taken decent amount, not decent, like he has taken some really good amount of damage in his UFC career, and now he's getting into misfit boxing. He took a couple of punches from Salt Papi, but let's be honest, he's not a fight. Salt Papi is not exactly Jake Paul. What I'm actually worried about? I'm worried about that Jake Paul might actually call out Tony Ferguson and knock Tony out in his next fight. Jake Paul could be looking at his next victim. I can see that happening. I can genuinely see that happening. Because Tony is the type of fighter that Jake Paul is the take of. Like, Tony is the kind of person that Jake Paul is looking to knock out, to put it on his resume. He's not a real boxer. Like, let's be honest, he can box. But he's not exactly fighting someone who's a real boxer. He finds people like Tony, Tyron Woodley, and Askren. Like, he finds people like this and he knocks them out. Why? Because it looks good on his resume, just for some internet clout. And people like Tony and all of them, maybe Tony, maybe Ben, who's getting healthier now, Tyron Woodley, like all of these people, they need money. I've been saying it for a long time. Like, getting into mixed martial arts is not exactly, or combat sports is not something that you do out of, we'll just get in there and earn a lot of money. No, the return to reward in combat sports is bad, especially anything that's deals with getting punched in the head. But all that aside, I'm generally happy. Woke up early in the morning, saw Tony Ferguson get a win, so I'm happy about that at least. And yeah, I don't know, like where Tony goes from here onwards. Maybe he needs to get. Look, I'm happy if he gets a lot of money. He makes a lot of money out of this. I'll be happy for him. But he should also consider fighting people who are like who he can defeat. Not exactly fight somebody like Jake Paul or some really good boxer or young upcoming prospect. He should fight people that he can win against. I did not think that he could defeat Salt Puppy when I made the prediction video, when I made the breakdown video, I thought that Tony would lose that fight, but I was so wrong. Tony won this fight. Tony won this fight clear square, like fair square. He destroyed Salt Papi. Not exactly destroyed him. I mean, it was kind of like an early stoppage, but still, Tony got the win. I'm happy for Tony Ferguson. Now, let's move on from Tony Ferguson for another man who actually destroyed his opponent. That is Darren Till. I think I probably said that Luke Rockhold would win this fight, or probably I did not pick the winner. But Darren Till made Luke Rockhold look like a proper amateur in there. He toyed with Luke Rockhold. I think he knocked down Luke in the first round, and eventually in the second round he finished him, and he folded Luke Rockhold like a chip, like a lawn chair. He folded him like a pancake. Luke was lying there with his knees bent, completely unconscious, and this reminded, like, he was probably, this might be the worst knockdown for Luke Rockhold. I know he has been knocked out by Yuri Prochazka, Yoel Romero, Magic Bisping. There are a lot of fighters in UFC who had knocked out or who have knocked out Luke Rockhold. But this one was like more clean, and this one was more vicious. Because look, at this age, Rockhold, who's 41, should not be fighting. But still, he has said that he does not have the feeling, like he does not have the desire to get into the cage and win a fight. He does not have the desire to fight. But still, he comes back and gets into a boxing ring and fights with Darren Till. It does not look good. And it's not good for his mental health. It's not good for his physical health as well. When you keep getting punched like that knockout that he took last night, that was a bad knockout. And for Darren Till, Till is looking good. I'm happy. Again, Till is actually very young. Like, a lot of people do not know that. He's only 32. He's probably going to turn 33 next month or something. I'm not exactly sure. But he is fairly young. Like, he's not a prospect or anything like that, but he's fairly young to be fighting. He's kind of in his prime, 32, 33, and considering he's fighting in the heavier weight class, he's fighting at 192 pounds, which is what? Heavyweight? More than middleweight. Like, middleweight is what, 185 in UFC, right? So 192 is probably close to 85 kgs. I'm assuming he's probably like close to more than 80 kgs for sure. Probably like 85 kgs, yeah. Which is a very heavy, like Darren Till looks healthy. Like, look at Darren Till. He looks generally healthy. Darren Till might have the face of a 40-year-old man and the body of a 28-year-old man. And it's nice to see that Darren Till is getting a win. Maybe they're all in Mexican supplements or something. I don't generally care. I generally do not care about that, even if they're on supplements. But it's kind of sad for Luke Rockhold to be retiring from UFC, from MMA, and fighting in these weird organizations like Misfits and taking damage. I mean, still, it's better that he's getting knocked out by Darren Till and Mike Perry. So, yeah. I mean, if he fights against somebody I don't think Luke Rockhold should be fighting. It's simple. It's as simple as that. But he did defeat somebody in Karate Combat, right? He defeated Joe Schilling or somebody in Karate Combat. I'm not exactly sure. But he defeated somebody in Karate Combat. So, yeah, I mean, he can get a win, but Darren Till is definitely a better boxer. Darren Till is definitely a better striker than Luke Rockhold. Luke had some good kicks, but Luke also had really good jiu-jitsu. And I think the best weapon for Luke was definitely his kicks in UFC. But for Darren Till, it was his boxing. It was his Muay Thai for as per se. Like, prime Darren Till actually defeated Wonder Boy. A lot of people forget, man. Darren Till was a marauder. Yeah, Darren Till was a marauder at one point of time. He was supposed to fight for the belt. Like, he did fight for the belt, and of course he lost against Tyron Woodley, KOed. But apart from that, like, Darren Till has some good wins. He defeated who did he defeat? Kevin Gastelum. He defeated Kevin Gastelum. And Darren Till actually gave a really good fight to Robert Whittaker. He did hurt Robert Whittaker with a really good elbow. Darren Till also gave a really tough fight to the former middleweight champion in Dricus du Plessis. And then eventually his grappling was not good enough to survive du Plessis. So, like, Darren Till does like a lot of other kickboxers and strikers as a whole in his grappling. His grappling is really bad. So I think that is what he was struggling in UFC. Of course, he got knocked out by Jorge Masvidal, but that was in the welterweight division. He's more of a middleweight fighter, but fighting in welterweight did not do anything well for him. But when he moved up to the middleweight division, he was actually doing well. Like, he had some good wins. Of course, he lost to Whittaker. I mean, everyone loses to Whittaker at that point of time. But apart from that, like, he had a good fight against du Plessis. He had a good fight against Gastelum. So, yeah, I mean, Darren Till is good. It's not really that bad. It's just that he was never really super disciplined. He did not figure out the grappling that you need. But look at here, but look right here, Rockhold, and this is sad to see anyone get folded like this. But yeah, but it is what it is, man. What can we say? I'm just happy that Darren Till got a win. And more than that, I'm really happy that Tony Ferguson finally has a win in his career. Even though it's in boxing, even though it's in weird boxing, whatever, he defeated somebody who's not even a fighter, like a YouTuber, but still a win is a win, and we will take it as a win. And I guess that is it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Peace out, guys. Peace out.